I'm David Rams. Welcome to this video on
Extreme Vegans.
Extreme vegans are just taking over the world. They're everywhere these days. They're talking about animal rights and veganism literally all the time. They refuse to eat with non-vegans. They refuse to date non-vegans. Some of them even get vegan tattoos all over their bodies. These vegan extremists have just gone too far. What is it with these guys making this extreme decision to try and raise awareness of veganism and change the world? Because standing up for oppressed and vulnerable groups in our society is always an extreme thing to do, right? Hey man, so I made a pretty extreme decision today. I'm pretty proud of myself. Oh yeah? What's that? Well, I've always respected children, so today I made the decision to take my anti-child abuse stance to the next level. Wow, good for you, man. So what's the big decision then? I'm inspired. Tell me about it. Well, I'll tell you, but I've got to warn you, it's a biggie. From now on, I won't be spending any time with anyone if they're abusing children. Oh, okay. I know, right? I figured if I just sit there and ignore them doing it, it kind of makes me part of the problem. It gives off the message that what they're doing is okay or acceptable. So I won't be doing that anymore. Well, yeah, that makes total sense. I would have assumed that was the case anyway. It's not really extreme. And I won't be dating anyone who abuses children either. Yeah, that also seems pretty obvious. I'm not sure why you feel the need to explain this to me, really. Oh, okay, well, I guess you're right. But thanks for your support anyway. Hey! I made another extreme decision today. This one is definitely going to impress you. Oh yeah? What is it? Well, I've always respected people of other ethnicities, so I've decided to take my anti-racism stance to the next level. Okay, interesting. What's the extreme thing? Well, wait for it. This one's going to be a biggie. From now on, I won't be hanging out with racists. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, if I see them being racist and I don't do anything about it, I just sit there, it gives off a message that what they're doing is acceptable or okay, then I'm part of the problem. So I won't be doing that anymore. That's good, but most people don't want to hang out with racists. That's not really an extreme position to hold. Yeah, well, also, I won't be dating any racists. Yeah, again, seems kind of obvious, man. Well, okay, I guess. That's where I'm at anyway. Well, good for you. It's still good. Hey man, this time I've got something that is really extreme. You're definitely going to agree with me that this is extreme this time. I just know it. Oh yeah? I've always had a lot of respect for people of the opposite sex, so I've decided to take my anti-sexism stance to the next level. Let me guess, you're not going to hang around with anyone who's being sexist anymore. Because sitting there whilst they're being sexist is making you kind of part of the problem. And by sitting there and doing nothing, you're giving the impression that being sexist is acceptable or okay. And you don't want to do that anymore, right? Yeah, but also, and you're not going to date sexists anymore, right? Yeah, that too, yeah. Look, this is a great decision, but it's not really extreme, okay? But it's a good decision. Well done, it's a good decision. All right, thanks. Thank you, all right. Oh, hey man, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Got anything extreme for me today? Oh no, not at all, no. But I did start something new today that you might be interested in, but it's not really a big deal. Oh yeah? What is it? Well, I've always respected animals, so I've decided to take my anti-animal abuse stance to the next level. I decided to stop paying people to use and abuse animals for my pleasure and convenience, basically to stop doing it for my lifestyle. It's called being a vegan, so yeah, I'm a vegan now. And from now on, I won't be hanging out with people who are eating animal products, because by sitting there and doing nothing, I'm part of the problem. I'm giving the impression that it's okay or acceptable to use and abuse animals in those ways. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Oh yeah, one more thing. I won't be dating anyone who isn't a vegan anymore. What the fuck is wrong with you? Whoa, what? That's so extreme. You sound like a cult member or something. I just thought, what is this, some kind of moral superiority thing? What, you think you're better than me now? No, I'm just being consistent like all the other things that I said I was against. Oh, here we go. Typical vegan forcing his views down my throat. Okay, so if I'm against child abuse, racism, and sexism, and I don't want to hang out with or date anyone who's abusing children, being racist, or being sexist, that's totally okay and not extreme, right? You're right. That's not extreme. But if I'm against animal abuse and go vegan, and I don't want to hang out with or date anyone who is abusing animals, that makes me extreme? Oh, here we go with the standard preachy vegan bullshit. Yes, That's extreme. So I'm just supposed to sit there and suffer, pretending to be okay with something that I'm against? Exactly. But only if it's something that most people aren't also against. Now you're getting it. The majority of people really like to use and eat the products of animal abuse. It brings them a lot of pleasure. So you should hang out with them and date them even though you're against animal abuse. So abuse is only wrong if most people believe it's wrong? Yes, exactly. Morality is subjective, bitch. Now sit there and enable me to feel good about my abusive actions by being a nice, quiet little vegan whilst I consume animal flesh right here in front of you. Go fuck yourself, Steve. It does seem that you're only extreme when you stand up for someone that the majority of people would prefer to abuse. Speaking up for the vulnerable members of our society is tough enough as it is, but it's even tougher when the global majority would rather continue to abuse and kill them. So in that case, I'm fucking happy to be labelled an extremist. And you should be too. Because if being vegan is extreme, I don't want to be the opposite of that. It's socially acceptable and it's encouraged to be against abusing children, women, and people of other ethnicities. All of this is encouraged and it's perfectly socially acceptable to be an extremist when it comes to the people within those demographics, the vulnerable people who fall into those groups. And in fact, the majority of people would be happy to label themselves an extremist when it comes to being against abusing those groups of vulnerable individuals. And here's the thing, if you're a vegan, you're just an extremist when it comes to the abuse of one more vulnerable group than they are. I'll say that again because it's important. If you're a vegan, you're just an extremist about one more group of individuals than they are. You are extremely against the abuse of non-human animals. You're an extremist in that case. They're an extremist in all of those other cases too. It's not that you are and they aren't. Most people fall into the category of extremist when it comes to sexism, racism, and child abuse, for example. And how do you think society gets to the point where the majority is against abusing certain groups and certain demographics? Do we get there by just sitting around and hoping things will change? Hey man, what are you doing? Oh hey, well, I figure if I just sit here not doing anything with my life and not challenging anything else in anyone else's lives, I can make some real change in the world. Oh wow, that sounds great. So we can make the world a better place without actually doing anything at all? Exactly, because that's exactly how things work. Oh, cool, I'll join you then. Oh, cool. We make change by rejecting the norm, not by playing along with it. We get to that point through struggle, activism, tough conversations, and heated debates too. Because if the norm means abuse and violence, we need to say, fuck that. Change doesn't come by sitting there with a smile on your face whilst everyone around you eats the bodies of abused, dead animals. Have you heard of the Liberation Pledge? It's a pledge to refuse to sit at any table where animals' bodies are being served. I know for some that may seem complicated and for some it may even seem impossible, but if you prepare in advance and you notify everyone in advance and you make advanced plans, it's actually quite a simple thing to achieve. Let people know before meeting. Find vegan places to meet up and hang out. Make it clear that you're not going to attend the event or meet them if animal bodies are going to be present at the table. Because what's more extreme? Refusing to sit with dead bodies at the table or sitting there and normalizing the whole situation? Would you sit there and chat if it was a dog's body being served? Or a cat? Yeah. I thought not. We need to be consistent on this. If you wouldn't sit and eat with people who are eating a dead dog or a dead cat, don't sit and eat with people who are eating a dead cow, pig, chicken, turkey, fish, or any other animal. Sure, they're gonna call you extreme, but remember, we don't make change by sitting and smiling. Stand up and raise your voice. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a comment right now saying extreme vegan for life. And if you appreciate my work and want to contribute to me making more of it, please do consider signing up to my Patreon. You can sign up for just $1 a month, which really helps me out. It's patreon.com/David Rams, and you can check the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.